Welcome back to Pokemon Tabletop Reimagined, a Pokemon Tabletop RPG system designed by me that aims to be easy to play, easy to understand, and easy to run, as well as fulfilling your Pokemon trainer fantasies. Today we're going to be talking about the Pokemon Master class that you can pick for your trainer. The Pokemon Master is good at catching Pokemon, can hold additional Pokemon, and other neat benefits. It's the most volatile class in the game with some really big bonuses, but also some pretty big negatives. The Pokemon Master class starts with 8 HP and -2 to all of their stats. Additionally, the Pokemon Trainer class doesn't get any skill advantages whatsoever. However, some of its abilities are going to be making up for that loss. At level 1, you get the Gotta Catch 'em All ability, which allows your trainer to carry up to 4 Pokemon on them at a time instead of just 3. This is an extremely powerful ability by itself, giving you a whole extra Pokemon to work with in combat and out of combat. But that's not all, because your trainer also has advantage on the capture roll when they try to catch a Pokemon. Every Pokeball has a different capture rate, and that capture rate can be increased or lowered by various means. We'll get into that in a later video, but the main takeaway right now is that as a Pokemon Master, you get advantage on the rolls when you attempt to capture a Pokemon, which is very great. But that's still not all, because this character can also earn things called Master Dice. For every 4 unique Pokemon that you collect, counting evolutions as well, you gain a Master Die. A Master Die is a one-time use 1d20 that can be added to any of the rolls you make: skill checks, damage, rolls to hit, saving throws, anything. A Master Die can also be expended to have one of your Pokemon automatically dodge an incoming attack that would have hit them. So as you can see, already starting at level 1, even though this class has a lot of negatives to start, you make up for it by having that extra Pokemon, having the Master Dice to make up for your lack of advantage on certain rolls and the negatives you get towards rolls, as long as you keep collecting Pokemon, incentivizing you to catch them all. At level 2 is when we start seeing a little bit of that volatility in the class with the ability, the Power That's Inside. Each of the not KO'd Pokemon on your team gives your trainer and your Pokemon an additional +1 to all of their non-damage rolls. However, each KO'd Pokemon on your team will give your trainer and your Pokemon a subtractive -2 to all of their non-damage rolls. You're really going to want to try and manage your resources well, keeping all of your Pokemon alive so you can keep the benefits of all these bonuses you're getting, because once 2 or 3 Pokemon go down, you're going to start getting negative points to your rolls, and it's going to be a worse time for you overall. The less Pokemon you have, the less powerful you are as a class. At this level, you also, of course, gain 2 stat points to allocate to any non-HP trainer stats, and you gain 1d8 trainer HP added to your max HP. Now, because you're going to be catching so many Pokemon, we have to have a system in place to make up for it. So this is what your level 3 ability does. To train them is my cause. With this ability, when you swap out all of your current party Pokemon for an all-new group of party Pokemon, you get a Master Dice once per long rest. This helps to incentivize switching out your Pokemon and training different members instead of just sticking to a singular team. However, all of this swapping could result in you really falling behind on the levels that the rest of your party are gaining. So in order to even the playing field a little bit and raise up multiple teams of Pokemon all at once, the new party of Pokemon will also gain 2 experience points instead of just 1 when earning experience. So they basically earn experience at a double rate than everyone else's Pokemon, which is fantastic for training up multiple teams of Pokemon. This experience multiplier cannot be stacked in any way and will wear off after a long rest, meaning you'll have to switch out your party again if you want to reapply the buff to a new party. And of course, at this level, you also gain 1d8 trainer HP to add to your max HP. Of course, if you're aiming to catch a lot of Pokemon, you're going to need some abilities that synergize with that. So at level 4, we have the ability Searching Far and Wide. With this ability, your Pokeballs will only break if they fail to capture a Pokemon twice, meaning that every Pokeball that you use essentially has 2 uses instead of just 1. Additionally, during a long rest, you're able to learn which wild Pokemon are native to the local area, meaning you'll get a good idea of what you need to catch and get basically a checklist of the area of the Pokemon you need to capture. And of course, at this level, you also gain 2 stat points to allocate to any non-HP trainer stats, and you gain 1d8 trainer HP added to your max HP. At level 5, you gain the ability called It's You and Me. Your last remaining Pokemon will start with a single stat boost to all of its stats and moves up by 1 spot in the initiative order once it enters the battle. So once you get down to your final Pokemon, as soon as you send them out, they're basically going to get an Omni boost to all their stats, which really helps to counteract some of the negative attributes that having only 1 Pokemon left has, and gives you a bit of a final stand. You also, of course, get 1d8 Trainer HP added to your max HP at level 5. At level 6, you get the ability, There's No Better Team. This ability gives you 2 Master Dice whenever you swap out your party during a long rest, but in addition, your Pokemon only need to use teachable moves 5 times successfully in order to learn them instead of 10. We'll go over teachable moves in a later video, but just to touch on them briefly, they're moves that your Pokemon don't learn via level up, that you can teach them, but they have disadvantage when using them. And once you use one 10 times successfully, you'll be able to learn it without having that penalty on it. So essentially, the There's No Better Team ability allows you to remove the negative penalty from these teachable moves a lot faster than the other classes, making you a lot more versatile when it comes to your movesets and combat, much faster than any of the other classes in the game. You also, of course, gain 2 stat points to allocate to any non-HP trainer stats, and you get 1d8 trainer HP added to your max HP. At level 7, you get the ability to Catch Them As My Real Test. This is a buff to your capturing of Pokemon, where you can spend a Master Dice in order to triple the capture rate of any Pokeball, even if the Pokemon is at full health, capping at 90%. You also, of course, gain 1d8 Trainer HP added to your max HP. At level 8, you get another use case for your Master Dice with the ability Our Courage Will Pull Us Through. With this ability, whenever you or one of your Pokemon takes damage that would incapacitate them, you can expend a Master Dice to have them survive on 1 HP. So you can use this ability in those clutch moments where you really need your Pokemon to stay alive and you don't have any other recourse. You can be like, listen, just hang on for 1 more turn, please. You, of course, also get 2 stat points to allocate to any non-HP trainer stats, and you gain a 1d8 trainer HP added to your max HP. At level 9, we have your penultimate ability called To Be a Master. With this ability, all Pokemon you capture immediately gain 1 level upon being captured, which means if I catch a Pokemon at level 9, it'll level up to level 10 after I catch it. But that's not all. Remember the Power That's Inside ability that gives you buffs and debuffs depending on how many Pokemon you have alive? Well, it gets cranked up to 11 here. Each non-KO'd Pokemon in your party gives your trainer and their Pokemon an additional +2 to all of their non-damage rolls instead of the previous +1 from the Power That's Inside ability. However, each KO'd Pokemon on your team gives your trainer and their Pokemon a subtractive -3 to all of their non-damage rolls instead of -2. So with a full team of 4, you're going to have an additional +8 to all of your non-damage rolls, but as soon as 2 of them go down and are KO'd, you're going to start getting some negative penalties a lot faster and are going to be a lot larger. And of course, you also gain 1d8 trainer HP added to your max HP at this level. And that pretty much wraps it up for the Pokemon Trainer class. As you can see, this class offers a lot of really great benefits and is pretty much good at everything as long as all their Pokemon are alive. But once their Pokemon start going down or the adventure starts dragging on a little too long, they start becoming more and more sort of dead weight. I think if you're looking for a jack-of-all-trades class that can experience the variety of gameplay that the game has to offer through all the various Pokemon, this is the class for you. And I think this is a very good choice for a solo adventure as well. I hope you enjoyed this video about the Pokemon Masterclass in Pokemon Tabletop Reimagined, and I hope the class was interesting to you. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns about the class, please feel free to leave a comment or check out the class in the rule document below in the description. Next time, we're going to be looking more at the Ace Trainer class, which has most of its abilities primarily focused on the Pokemon battles themselves. So join me for that next time. Thanks for watching, and see ya.